I'm Sam Sutherland, a former music journalist and failed TV personality, and End Hits is where I compile the best songs that I heard this week. They may not be totally new, but they're relatively new to me, and maybe they're kind of new to you, and we can just be pumped about it together. They're not in any particular order, and there is no consistency whatsoever to these videos, except that 3 weeks in a row, baby, I'm back! Call of the Midnight Animal by the Lion's Daughters from their new album, Future Cult. And the Lion's Daughter have always been a pretty good black metal, death metal band. But what they've finally done on this album is meld their interest in blasty times and their interest in the music of John Carpenter. And so this music, and my God, I know I repeat this constantly, feels like it was built in a laboratory for me, and I appreciate it. Thank you, science. I've seen some lazy comparisons to Dimmu Borgir, who are doing a much more operatic, synthy thing, which is good. I mean, it's not good, it's sick. But this is way more aligned with the synthwave stuff that I have been obsessing over for the last year, as mentioned in last week's video, and Meteor, and all those bands that are like, oh, so tight. Future Cult in its entirety, but in particular, this song really effectively meld that looping synthy vibe of like classic 70s and 80s horror with full-on, proper-ass black metal. And it totally works. I won't say that the entire album totally works, and there are a few, like, you know, dodgy missteps, but I'm just being real with you because it's such a new idea, and if we can't be real with each other about exciting new ideas, what can we be real about? If you're into seeing what new worlds there still are to be explored in black metal, which admittedly is not something that everyone is super excited about, I think this is a very, very promising place to start, and I'm super excited to see where the band goes from here with this new and I think very, very effective and totally successful melding of two seemingly disparate genres. I only listened to Hawks and Doves' Bulletproof Hearts for Laura Jane because I thought it was the Hawks and Doves that Buddy from Planes Mistaken for Stars is in. But you know what? It's not. It's a totally different Hawks and Doves. This is from their album From a White Hotel, and it is a touching country ballad about Laura Jane Grace from Against Me, based very much on the stories present in her fantastic memoir, Tranny. There's no denying that this band probably owes a lot to Dawes, and that's great because Dawes are incredible. And this is not the exact same, but man, it's similar-ish, and I love it. It's expressive, it's thoughtful, it's instantaneously catchy, but it's subtle. And this song, especially if you love Against Me, especially if you've read Tranny, hits on some of the most salient points of that memoir of Laura Jane Grace's truly unique and I think fascinating and important story. And this is a wonderful musical celebration of that story and of its uniqueness inside of the punk world. And so I'm glad that I thought this was Planes Mistaken for Stars, so I listened to it, and then I'm glad that it wasn't, because it was something very, very different and totally unique, and I'm glad to have experienced it, and maybe you will like it also. Bone Lowry's Demon City from Bone Lowry 2 reminded me so much of the Fortet remix of Mad Villain's Money Folder that's the best comparison I can make. Apparently this week's video is a lot of like seemingly lazy comparisons, but when you can say that A sounds like A, why the fuck not? If you like Fortet, if you like Mad Villain, if you like Mad Villainy, this is absolutely the kind of hip-hop that you would enjoy. And I also get very apprehensive talking about hip-hop because all of my touch points are kind of bullshit, but this is insanely good and you should listen to it, but I'm going to stop talking about it before I embarrass myself. Money Folder. Spanish love songs, sequels, remixes, and adaptations. Remix, it's a tough one. From their album Schmaltz is a Menzinger song that you didn't know that you already loved, but you have 30 tattoos of the lyrics that cover your legs. For some reason, you only got leg tattoos, but they are all of the lyrics to this song. I feel like it's a little dismissive to say that this just sounds like a Menzinger song, but I'll be real with you. It sounds a lot like a Menzinger song. And that's fine, because punk has rules and a foundation. And it's not that it's derivative, it's just so very clearly inspired by the best of what the Menzingers do. And maybe I'll mention another band here, but I won't. If you like the Menzingers, you're just gonna fucking love this. It's insanely good. Of course, that is the sound of Spanish love songs that you are hearing on this video, and I wanna thank them very much for letting me use this song because it rips and it's been on like every playlist that I've made for 6 months. You can check out links to all of these songs in the description, along with a link to subscribe to the End Hits newsletter, which comes out every Friday and is a lot like this, but typier. It's still very good. Again, everything in the description. I just don't, it's there. What was the best thing you heard this week? Let me know in the comments or on Twitter or at the bar. Be excellent to each other and stay high.